Хочешь посмотреть эксклюзивный и очень горячий контент 18+ по Наруто? Тогда заходи на мой Бусти. Ссылка в описании, и приятного просмотра хента.
October 10th is the day when the fourth Hokage and his wife had twins. Everyone was happy about it and congratulated them on the long-awaited addition to the family. People crowded in front of the residence, shouting and rejoicing, but suddenly a red fox with 9 tails and red eyes appeared in front of them. 10 minutes ago. Come on, Kushina, you can do it. Push. Biwako, the third Hokage's wife, shouted. I know, Biwako-sama, but it hurts like hell. Kushina replied. I don't have time for your sore spot now. I can already see the head. Come on. Push harder, Kushina. Biwako said nervously. And you, young Hokage, watch the fox so he doesn't get away, or I'll tear him to pieces. Hi, Biwako-sama. Minato said with a smile and concentrated on the fox. Oops. The first one is out. He's the spitting image of his father. Nurse, hold him. Biwako commanded and began to wait for the second one. How khhh, beautiful. Kushina said, greedily gasping for air. Talk less and push more. Come on. Just a little more. Whoa. And here's the second one. The old woman said happily. Suddenly everyone fell, and Menma, the second son of the Hokage, was caught by a man in a mask and thrown up, pointing a kunai upward. Minato threw his kunai at the boy and teleported, grabbing Menma and Naruto with his other hand, moving them to a hut near the village. Hearing a hiss and quickly removing a towel from one of the boys, Namikaze threw out a bomb without a second's delay, then went to Kushina, who was tied to a rock with chains. A certain masked man had already released the 9 tails from her body, subduing it. Minato quickly untied his wife, teleporting her to his sons, and then moved towards his face, depicted on a huge rock. The Hokage, wearing his signature cloak with the inscription Shadow of Fire 4th Generation, put a kunai forward. When the enraged fox saw it, he became even more furious and began to form a bomb of the tailed one, then swallowed it and shot at the yellow lightning. A centimeter remained to the target, after which seals appeared in the air, which sucked in a considerable size, the weapon of the 9-tailed and moved it into the sea. Suddenly, a masked man appeared behind Minato and, touching the blonde man's shoulder, began to suck him into an inexplicable place, but he was able to escape from him, ending up far from Konoha. Ha! You live up to your nickname, Minato-sensei, Obito muttered and disappeared. At this time, Hiruzen and Danzo with their Umbu squad were fighting against the fox. The two were best friends since childhood and were called the Bloody Duo. They were pushing back the 9 tails and the third used his staff to knock the Kyuubi out of the village while the Leaf Shinobi continued to fight it. Minato teleported to a clearing, away from Konoha, and began to think about his next steps, but an enemy appeared. Using an ancient technique, he sealed the unknown person's chakra and was able to break the mask that the enemy was wearing, learning that it was Obito. This spent almost all of his chakra, so he activated his Sannin mode and moved to the third, then threw a kunai up and summoned Gamabunta. Namikaze jumped on the fox, attacking him. After a small battle between the two giant creatures, the toad boss repelled the 9-tailed even further. Minato headed towards the monster again, but then Kushina arrived, who slightly restored her chakra, pinning the orange monster with Kongo Fuso's chains. Kushina, we should seal the fox into one of our sons. Naruto looks tougher than Menma, I think. No. You don't understand what you're condemning him to. Do you even know how hard it is for a Jinchuriki to live? The red-haired girl interrupted him. We have no other choice, Minato said sadly and went to his sons. Afterwards, taking his first child, he teleported back to the fox and was about to call the god of death when Hiruzen and Danzo arrived. Minato, wait. I'll do it. I'm a worthless person, so let me do it. Danzo shouted, seeing what the fourth Hokage was doing. Hiruzen has almost no chakra left, and you still have children to raise. So, let me do it. Okay, Danzo-sama. Thank you, Minato said, almost passing out. At this time over Konoha. Oh. What an interesting village. Oh. And a fox is here. I'll have to ask Haiden what village this is. Hee. thought the man with horns, a white face, a white jacket and red pants, who was hovering above Konoha. Suddenly, the god of death, who was on bad terms with Jashin Otsutsuki, noticed him. He had wanted to take his soul for a long time, but the bastard still wouldn't die. That's when he decided to seal it in Naruto, but due to the gigantic volume of the nine-tailed chakra, he lost the mind of the god, who simply evaporated and sealed the chakra and knowledge in Minato's son. Because of this, Naruto's hair turned gray, his eyes turned purple for a second, and then blue. The fourth was afraid that the fox had captured his child's mind. Having teleported him to the orphanage, he rang the doorbell, then said that his name was Naruto Uzumaki and disappeared in a flash, returning to Kushina, who was unconscious. To all this, the god of death only sighed and decided to scold the god of thunder for choosing such a coward, after which he disappeared, and Danzo's dead body fell, like the mood after watching Titanic. A 5-year-old boy was running through the streets of Konoha. Or to be more precise, he turned 5 today. And now he is trying to run to his house to hide, so that he won't be beaten up by drunk Chunin again. There is one turn left, but the boy falls into a trap that was set by 10-year-old boys. Naruto was caught in a net and tried to escape, but he couldn't. Congratulations, gentlemen. The annual demon hunt was a success as always. Now we just need to take his carcass to those Chunin, and we'll get some nice money. Haha, the leader rejoiced, and the other two simply nodded and looked at the boy with disdain, but suddenly one of them spoke. Guys, maybe we should beat him up a little? I don't think the boss will be too angry. The bully said, grinning. Why not? We haven't warmed up in a while. Haha. The leader answered, after which the beating began. Covering the child with blows to the head and body, and then he, as if painted with multiple purple bruises, is carried in a net to the alley where 2 Chunin are standing, looking angrily at Naruto. For what? What have I done to you? Why do you all hate me? The boy thought, bursting into tears. We've finally waited for it. Here's your 1,000 Ryo, guys. Give us the demon. After what happened, Naruto woke up in a white room that smelled of medicine. He immediately realized that he was in the hospital again and had been there for at least a day. After all, it was evening outside, and he had been beaten at night. The boy smiled and said, Finally I found my first friend. He said and, getting out of bed, gathered his things, and jumped out of the window. Flashback. Naruto woke up in some sewer. He didn't feel pain, but just irritation from the water he was lying in. Am I dead? It seems I've gone to hell. However, I really am a demon who is destined to be in hell. The boy smiled sadly and stood up. Follow my voice. Suddenly he heard a menacing demonic voice calling him. Naruto, passing on the left, came to a turn and saw a light behind it. He walked in search of the source of the bright glow and, finding himself in a huge room with a cage on which was the kanji 4 seal, only began to look around in surprise. Is there anyone here? Asked the fair-haired man, and at his call, red eyes like blood began to appear behind the cage, which turned towards him. So this is my jailer. The god of death has apparently gone completely mad. Said a menacing growl. Everything fell into place, Naruto muttered. What are you mumbling about, shorty? Well, everyone in the village calls me a demon. And on the day of my birth, the 9-tailed demon fox was sealed. A Jinchuriki who died, after which he was resealed into another child. But now I am in my subconscious, and I see a cage with a seal, behind which there is a creature with a gigantic amount of chakra, and it looks at me with hateful eyes. Conclusion, I am the Jinchuriki of the 9-tailed fox. The coolest, most beautiful and strongest beast. Also, most likely, I am the son of the 4th Hokage, who abandoned me, afraid that you captured my mind. Uzumaki said and hit his fist into his palm. Now everything is clear, fox. Naruto was a genius child. At 1 year old he could walk, at 1.5 he could run, and at 2 he could read, write and count. In 3 years he read more than 50 books about the art of shinobi and cooking for dummies by Tucci. His favorite book is Tales of the Great Shinobi by Jiraiya-sama, one of the 3 legendary Sannin. The 9-tailed fox looked at Naruto with wide eyes. At 5 years old, to understand all this in a few seconds, and to compliment the fox without being afraid of him at all. This was something new in his life. "Kyubi-sama, are you alive?" the boy asked. "I'm glad that my Jinchuriki is so smart, but I have one question. Aren't you afraid of me?" The nine-tailed came out of his stupor and asked. "Why should I be afraid of you? In books, everything is dramatized and exaggerated. It can't be that such a good creature as you hates all people for no reason. They must have upset you very much. Although, I would hate them too if I were put in a cage for the rest of my life. And we are in my subconscious, so you can't do anything to me. By the way, one question always torments me. Kyubi is a nickname. What is your name?" Did this kid seriously just ask his name? "My name is Kurama," the fox answered, stuttering. "My name is Naruto Uzumaki. And I want to become Hokage," the blonde shouted. "Naruto, do you want to know something cool?" asked the flea-bitten one. "Of course, Kurama-sama. You are immortal." Immortal? But I don't know the way of Jashin, do I?" the boy said mockingly. "Ahem. So to speak, the god of death sealed Jashin and me into you." The fox made the blonde happy. "But because you have a huge reserve of chakra, his mind was destroyed, and I got his abilities and knowledge." "So where is Jashin's library of knowledge?" Naruto asked, not letting him finish. "You haven't opened them yet. You need a chakra source. Now get lost. I need to digest all of this." "Okay, Kurama-sama. Can we be friends?" the blue-eyed man asked hopefully. "Okay. Just go away, please, huh? My head hurts." After that, Naruto disappeared and Kyubi thought. "Is that really what you were talking about?" he said, grinning and continuing to sleep. End of flashback. Naruto woke up in the morning because of some screams. Only after 2 minutes he realized that these were screams from the subconscious. "Huh? Kyubi, is that you? Why wake me up at 6 in the morning?" The blonde man was perplexed. "I need you to start training, now get dressed quickly and go to the training ground," the fox commanded, and Naruto had no choice but to listen to his new friend. He got out of bed, went to the bathroom, took all the water procedures and went to the kitchen. There he cooked porridge with rice and after eating, went to the nightstand. There were 6 shurikens and 3 kunai that he found on the training ground. Then he put them in the bag and left the apartment. On the street, as always, everyone looked at Naruto with hatred and contempt, but he didn't care, because now he had a friend who would always help him. At training ground number 39. "Naruto, let's start with physical training. Do 50 squats, 20 push-ups, and 7 laps around the field," the flea-bitten one ordered. "Yes, sir." An hour later. "I'm going to die. Maybe we should rest a little?" Naruto asked. "No. Now you must awaken the chakra center, so sit in the lotus position and try to feel the fire in your stomach," Kurama answered. "Ood." After which the boy sat down and began to meditate. After 2 hours he felt chakra. "I think I feel the blonde man yelled at the whole subconscious. "Well done, Naruto. It seems you really are a genius. Okay, try to disperse it through the channels now," the fox said in surprise. Studying and training hard, Naruto doesn't notice how fast time flies, that 3 whole years have passed. A few years later, a boy with gray hair was walking down the street after training. A mask on half his face. Dressed in a black t-shirt, with pouches attached to his belt containing kunai, shuriken and senbon. On his hands and feet were seals with the kanji 4 weighting agent. Flashback. "Naruto, I think you need to start wearing weights and adding 4 kilograms every day," the tailed one said. But everything will break under me, "That's true. But I've come up with something. I'll teach you a technique. It should be in your library, I think. It's called the seal of weighting. Learn it and the weight will be only on you." The nine-tailed beast moaned. "You're a genius, Kurama." Naruto replied and ran to the library to study the new technique. By the way, this is what the library looks like, a medium-sized green room with cabinets on the walls, on which lay red, purple, and black scrolls. Red ones are inaccessible, purple ones are available for study, black ones are mortally dangerous. Everything studied went to another place, which was behind the bulky furniture. End of flashback. And finally, this white-haired boy has reached his destination. Shinobi Academy. Today is his first day, and he hopes that sensei won't bother him with his kindergarten questions. Commentary on Chapter 3, Crazy Workouts. I hope you liked it, thanks for the huge support. If you get 5, I'll wait for a new part in the evening. By the way, I'm looking for a good beta, can you tell me? Bachino. Naruto entered the academy courtyard and saw a lot of children standing with their parents. After looking around a bit, he saw the Hokage family. Speaking of which, after Naruto's death, Kushina gave birth to 2 more children. The first was a 5-year-old boy with red hair and green eyes, with facial features like Minato. A khaki jacket with a whirlpool sign and purple pants, on his feet were blue shinobi sandals. His name was AKA. The second was a girl of 4. Blonde hair and blue eyes, Kushina's facial features. A yellow shirt and white shorts, and on her head was a cap. Her name was Teo. AKA Red, Teo, son. Naruto glanced at them strangely, and this did not escape Kushina's gaze. She looked with interest at the blonde man in the mask, and he turned away. Speaking of the mask. Flashback. In the library. Mku, and this copy ninja. He has hair like mine. Maybe I should put on a mask? No one will recognize me and look at me strangely, will they? Naruto asked his friend. You're certainly right on time. Look to the left, Kurama said, grinning. Ah. Copy ninja. Uzumaki shouted when he saw the shinobi with a half-face mask and an eye patch. He was sitting to his left, reading a book called Come, Paradise. Wow. Even kids recognize me? What are you reading? Jonin Leaf? I wonder if it's on the same page as me. Kakashi was surprised. KK Kakashi Hataki. WW, what are you doing here? Asked a surprised Naruto. What can a grown man do in a library with a book in his hands? Stop. The 3rd volume has already come out. Uzumaki cried out. Are you also reading Come, Paradise? The copy ninja said in an interested tone. Yes. By the way, Kakashi-san, where did you buy the mask? The boy asked. There is a stall near the residence, I bought it there. Thank you, Kakashi-san. Naruto interrupted and ran under Hench to buy a mask. End flashback. Naruto started looking at the other people in the yard and saw Fugaku Uchiha's family. His wife and 2 sons, Itachi and Sasuke. At the same time, Minato Namikaze appeared in front of the people in a yellow flash and started talking nonsense about this being a new generation of the Will of Fire, something about shinobi, future comrades, and blah blah blah. Uzumaki didn't listen. He was looking at one girl with orange hair and brown eyes, with a blue hat on her head. She was wearing a blue shirt and a brown sleeveless vest, black shorts underneath, and black shinobi sandals on her feet. Falling in love, huh? The fox yelled mockingly in his subconscious. And nothing like that. Just a pretty girl. Naruto denied the facts. Fool, I know your feelings by heart, Kurama muttered and ended the conversation. After an hour-long speech by the pseudo-Hokage, the children began to say goodbye to their families and follow their teachers. Class 1B. Please, follow me, Irika said, and then entered the academy. In the classroom. Hello, my name is Irika Umino. I am your homeroom teacher for the next 4 years. I hope we can become friends. Now, please introduce yourself in the same format. Hello. My name is Kiba Inuzuka. I wish to become the future Hokage. And also not to disgrace my clan and to have a good wife, like my dog, said Kiba. You should call me Aburame Shino. I don't want to disgrace my clan either, Shino said in a strange tone. I am Sakura Haruno. I wish to become the first female Hokage. That's what everyone said, except for a few. I am Sasami Fuma. I wish to become a good medic of Konoha and protect my comrades, said the girl that our young Jinchuriki was looking at. I am Sasuke Uchiha. I wish to obtain the most powerful Sharingan. I am Menma Namikaze. I want to become the strongest Hokage and learn the technique of the Flying Thunder God. Okay, now, Uzumaki Naruto, Iruka said the last two words with disgust. You've learned the name, I have nothing more to tell you about myself, the boy said in a serious tone and sat down at his desk. Hey, demon! Don't you dare act tough or I'll kill you. Menma yelled, but Naruto suddenly appeared behind him and kicked him in the head. Next time she will fly into the hands of teacher Iruka, Uzumaki said menacingly and returned to his place. Oh okay, calm down, children. There will be no classes today, so you can go. The teacher said in surprise and went to the Hokage to report on the first day. Speaking of Naruto's strength, he has 3 elements, Raiten, Doton, and Katon. He has mastered multiple elemental techniques such as Chidori, electric clones, Kirin, electric dragon dance, Hiraishin, rock wall, bullets and needles, rock dome, fireball, great fire destruction, and phoenix flowers. He had taijutsu like a strong chunin, ninjutsu and speed like a jounin, kenjutsu and shurikenjutsu at the Kage level. He also had shadow clones and transformation, shunshin, substitution, and light genjutsu, and his sensorics were at the level of an average sensor. At the Hokage's house. Honey, I'm home, Minato said, and seeing that Menma was a little beaten, he immediately asked, what happened? Menma was trying to get at the demon again, and he, as always, took him down, damn it, Aki replied. It was very hard for Namikaze all this time, because Naruto did not cause any harm to the village. There were occasional bursts of the nine-tailed chakra, but they simply treated the boy after another beating, and even then until he was 5 years old. Minato was very sorry about what happened and did not know what to do. At Naruto's house. Hey, Ku, did I do him a good job today? Asked the boy with blue eyes. Yes, that's good, but you still have to read one more book today, said Kurama. Good thing you reminded me. Oh. Here are the great Jujutsu. Maybe we should honor this? Let's. After some time. Kurama, does the Rinnegan really exist? Or is it a fiction? Uzumaki asked. I'll tell you more, because you have the Otsutsuki chakra, you have the Rinnegan. Just channel Jashin's chakra into your eyes, the flea-bitten one replied. Naruto did as the fox said and, looking out the window, saw purple eyes with circles in the reflection. Commentary on Chapter 4, oh my god, what a kindergarten. Hope you enjoyed it. New part tomorrow. Bichino. The next day Naruto woke up at 5 a.m., took all the water procedures, cooked food, ate, dressed, got ready and went outside. He headed to the training ground to study eye techniques. When Uzumaki arrived, the boy sat in the lotus position and began to meditate. Finding himself in front of Kurama, he nodded hello, ran to the library and began to look for new purple scrolls. After a minute of searching, he found the right one and began to examine them, completely immersing himself in the teaching, studying the techniques. 1. Bansho Tenin. Description: attracts everything within the radius of damage, which depends on the chakra. Cooldown is 3 minutes. With maximum control it can be reached 5 seconds. I'll try to study this, Naruto thought and came out of his subconscious. When he came to, he took 2 kunai from his bag and threw them at the dummy so that they flew around it and then crossed each other. When this happened, Uzumaki extended his hand forward and shouted, Bansho Tenin, after which the kunai turned towards the dummy and poked it from behind. Come out, Kakashi-san. I know you're here, Naruto said and threw a shuriken at Hatake. Ma. What kind of ability? I guess you have the Rinnegan, huh? That's where things started going. Kakashi began training Naruto and even seemed like a brother to him. Uzumaki put a lens on one eye and a simple bandage on the other, which he bought in the same shop as his sensei. He did this so as not to waste a lot of time removing the lenses in battle, and then uses them so that no one except Kakashi knows about his strength. Timeskip 4 years. Well done, guys. You all tried very hard over these 4 years. I hope you passed the exam successfully, Iruka said. In Naruto's subconscious. Well, kid, you have to do it today. You promised. Kurama said with satisfaction in his voice. I know. After the exam, I'll confess to her. Naruto answered. Good. The first one will be Menma Namikaze. The teacher called the Hokage's son. Menma went to Iruka and transformed into him, then made 5 clones. You're such a good boy, Menma. Not like that demon, the girls' cries were heard. Then Sasuke came out and the situation didn't change at all. Now Naruto Uzumaki. Yumino shouted. Ugh. Demon. Die. The number of exclamations increased. Well then. You wanted a demon? Here you go. Uzumaki said in the voice of Kyubi, after which he created 50 clones. All of them turned into classmates and senseis. Everyone fell silent, some even began to fear Naruto's menacing gaze. Oh okay, kids. Let's go outside. Let's compete in throwing and fighting. Shouted the sensei, after which everyone went out to the academy's training ground. This is where we'll give you hell. Monster. Menma and Sasuke shouted. Well done. In total, Kiba 7 out of 10, Shino 9 out of 10, Shikamaru 8 out of 10, Menma 9 out of 10, Sasuke 9 out of 10. Now you, Naruto. The blonde man took the weapon in his hands and, throwing it, formed a circle in the center, in the middle of which was a kunai suspended from another. 10 out of 10. I didn't expect anything else from you. Iruka said with a smile. During this time, he recognized Uzumaki as a strong shinobi with incredible intelligence and a shiny hairdo. He always wondered how he and Kakashi managed to get their hair in order. The boy became like a copy of Kakashi, the same lateness and excuses, reading a book on the go. During Naruto's sparring, he encountered Sakura, whom he knocked out with Kurama's chakra, like all the other students, and the teacher fell to his knees, which is why the battle did not take place. The next day, everyone was divided into teams. Team 6, Kenshiro Uchiha, Uzumaki Nea. Mentor, Sasai Karigawa. Team 7, Menma Namikaze, Sasuke Uchiha, Naruto Uzumaki. Mentor, Kakashi Hatake. Shinigami, damn it, what have I done to you? The blonde shouted, while everyone looked at him strangely. All the other teams were divided as usual, but the 14th team were students, Aka Namikaze, Teo Namikaze, and Sakura Haruno. The mentor was Kushina Uzumaki. 3 hours later, only Menma, Sasuke, and Naruto were sitting in the office. The boys were talking about how they had a bad teacher and teammate, and the blue-eyed one was just reading the book, Come, Paradise. Commentary on Chapter 5, Divine Eyes and the New Sensei. Well, how's the new part? If I develop events too quickly or there are too few details, please write what I would change, and if it's normal, then write anyway. Bacino. Chapter 6 Unrequited Love She's good at you, huh? Kurama laughed in Naruto's head, his eyes sparkling mischievously. This is not funny. He is still called a friend. How is this Sasuke better than me? Naruto was indignant. Crossing his arms over his chest. Flashback. The last day of Shinobi Academy, after classes. Hey! A boy wearing a mask with an eye patch over his left eye, with the Konoha emblem on it, shouted, waving his hand. Sasami-chan. Oh. Naruto-kun, did you want something? The red-haired girl asked with a smile. Well, the boy thought for a second, scratching his head with his right hand and looking away in embarrassment. Sasami-chan, you see, I've been wanting to confess something to you for a long time. For the first time in 4 years, Naruto was so nervous. Usually, he was like an emotionless cucumber, sitting in class and listening to Iruka. And what is it? Asked a surprised Sasami. I love you, Sasami-chan. The ash-haired boy said. Oh, Naruto-kun, if you had said that earlier, then, she sighed heavily. Sasuke-kun already asked me out, so I'm sorry. Sasami quickly rattled off and ran to Sasuke, throwing herself at him with hugs. What an immature faggot. I'll kill him like a fucking fly. Fucking shit-eater. Naruto yelled at his entire subconscious, puffing indignantly under his breath. Haha. Where did you pick up such words, kid? Asked the flea-bitten one, clearly amused by the situation. who knows, it just happened. Looks like Jashin got it, answered the offended Naruto, looking angrily somewhere to the side. End flashback. A man who looked very much like Naruto entered the classroom. Emma, are you by any chance a father and son? Menma asked, to which Sasuke turned an interested look to those two. Naruto, I asked you not to wear a mask in the academy, Kakashi said, smiling. Naruto looked at him with a sad look, saying with his eyes that he had been rejected and now he had no time for sensei. Okay, let's go to the roof, it's kind of stuffy here. Hatake thoughtfully rubbed his chin and disappeared into the haze. Naruto disappeared into Shunshin. Okay, let's get acquainted. You first. Kakashi pointed at Menma when they arrived on the roof. Or maybe you could set an example yourself? Menma asked, leaning against the railing. My name is Kakashi Hatake, a jounin of Konoha. I like many things, including reading and punctuality. I don't like it when someone is late, answered Kakashi. Menma and Sasuke looked at each other and looked at Hatake strangely. Naruto only smiled with the corner of his lips. My name is Namikaze Menma. I love Sasuke. He hesitated. Oh, I mean, being friends with Sasuke and Kiba, and I also don't like the demon. I dream of becoming Hokage, Naruto's double proudly said. Oh my god, what kind of assholes are these around? Uzumaki muttered, putting his hand to his head. My name is Uchiha Sasuke, I love my friends and my girlfriend, my dream is to become a Shadow Kage. Naruto Uzumaki, I like and dislike many things, I dream of becoming a swordsman of the mist, and also of bringing peace to the whole world, Naruto said and returned to the book he was holding in his hands. Okay. Tomorrow at training ground number 7, I'm waiting for you at 6 a.m. There will be a test, if you don't pass, you'll go back to the academy. Kakashi said and disappeared into Shunshin, and in place of Naruto there was only a trace of white lightning. Commentary on Chapter 6 Unrequited Love. Well, how do you like this part? Right, should I continue or abandon it? By the way, soon there will be a voiceover on the Topgrum channel. Bachino. Chapter 7, Genius of his generation. Naruto woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning, reached for the alarm clock with displeasure and turned it off. He knew he was late, but he was in no hurry, because he knew his brother Kakashi wouldn't come before 10. So, getting out of bed, he went to the bathroom. After taking all the water procedures, he went to the kitchen to make breakfast. He made a cake, poured himself some tea and sat down at the table. Itadakimasu. Naruto shouted, waking up the fox and smiling slyly, after which he began to eat. After 5 minutes, he put the rest of the cake in the refrigerator and washed the plates, then got dressed, packed his things and teleported to the 7th training ground using the Flying Thunder God technique. Hey, demon! Why did you come at 9:30? We were ordered to come at 6. Menma yelled at the silver-haired man. Shut up. Sensei hasn't arrived yet, which means I'm not late. The blonde grumbled. Speaking of him. He'll be here in 3 seconds, Naruto said, and Kakashi appeared behind him. Naruto, how did you know that Kakashi-sensei would be late again? Sasuke asked with interest, looking thoughtfully at the teacher. First of all, he was late for the first meeting. If you couldn't figure that out, then I have no idea how you were allowed to become a genin. And secondly, I've known my Nai-san since he was 8 years old, Naruto answered more calmly. After the refusal, he almost stopped feeling any emotions. Including towards the Hokage family. There was no love that one usually feels towards family, only emptiness. Hey, guys, let's live in peace. Kakashi said with a smile, and then raised a pair of bells to eye level. Today, your task is to take these bells from me before noon. He shook them slightly and put them back in his pocket. Yes, but sensei, there are only 2 of them, Sasuke was surprised. That's right, one of you will go back to the academy, Kakashi replied, then set the timer. Sasuke and I will pass, and we will send this demon back to the academy. Menma did not have time to finish speaking, as sensei shouted, let's start, took out a book and immediately became engrossed in reading. Sasuke and Naruto hid, and Menma came even closer to the teacher and used one of the taijutsu techniques. However, it did not work. Kakashi, without taking his eyes off the book, parried all his blows and sometimes even responded to these unsuccessful actions with blows to the stomach. After 5 minutes of fighting with taijutsu techniques, Menma got tired of it and created 5 clones, 3 of which flew at Kakashi with a Rasengan, and the rest threw shurikens and kunai, driving Hatake to a tree. At that moment, the hands of the real Menma burst out of the ground, and Sasuke used the fireball technique, but the teacher broke free from Menma's clutches and created an earthen dome. Kirin! Naruto suddenly shouted from the center of the clearing, and a huge dragon, completely covered in lightning, crashed into Kakashi's dome and, having broken through the dome, still got the sensei, who suddenly disappeared in a cloud of smoke. What? A clone? Menma was surprised, looking in amazement at the place where their teacher had stood a second ago. Cover me for a minute, please, Naruto said, sitting down in the lotus position. Flashback. I was thinking. Maybe I should go to free summoning? Naruto asked. Good idea, Naruto, I think it's worth a try, Ku replied and lay down on his side again. Naruto made the necessary seals, bit his finger and hit the ground with his palm, which spread dark strange patterns, after which a cloud of smoke appeared, in which Naruto disappeared. Hey! Is anyone there? Naruto yelled as he arrived at Mount Myaboku. Greetings, human child. The Toad Sage wishes to see you. Fukasaku said and led the silver-haired man. When they reached the Toad Sage, without opening his eyes, he began to speak. I have been waiting for you, Uzumaki Naruto. You are the child of prophecy, the Toad Sage said, while Naruto himself, not paying attention, looked at the different toads of all colors and sizes. Wait, what? The child from the prophecy? Are you crazy? I randomly went to free summoning, how could you know that I would come to you? Not understanding the whole situation, Uzumaki said. I don't know how it works. I just dream all sorts of nonsense, but if something happens in my dreams besides all that crap, then such things come true. The sage explained. Fukasaku, you must teach him the hermit regime. Yes, sage, let's go Naruto, Fukasaku said, leading the boy until he finally brought him to that very place by the waterfall. You must spend 4 years here to master the Sannin mode, sign the contract, and learn the Toad Kumite. By the way, 1 year here is like 1 month for you, in other words, when you turn 12 in that world, we will give you the Sannin cloak. Because in this world, your body will not grow. Aren't you interested in my opinion? Naruto was surprised, perplexed by such an unexpected flow of information. You want power, right? You'll get it, Fukasaku said. Naruto snorted vaguely, but agreed. End flashback. I sensed him. Go east, and I'll prepare a trap for him. Naruto commanded. So you also realized that this is a test of teamwork? Menma asked standing next to Sasuke, to which Naruto nodded, after which they parted ways. When Sasuke and Menma reached Kakashi, the latter used the earth technique and passed through the soil downwards, disappearing, and Sasuke went head-on. He decided not to stand on ceremony for long, so he used the Phoenix Flowers technique, activating the Sharingan and, jumping, threw 5 small fireballs, surrounding Hatake with them so that he could not dodge. Sensei decided to follow Menma's example and disappear into the ground, but suddenly Menma himself flew out from under it with a Rasengan. Then Kakashi used a substitution and the Phoenix Flowers flew to Namake's, but Naruto appeared in front of him in time and teleported him to Sasuke. Damn, it didn't work, the blonde muttered angrily. Naruto. Thank you for saving me, Menma thanked, to which Naruto simply snorted to the side and disappeared into lightning, appearing in front of Kakashi. Uzumaki immediately created a giant fireball and shot it upwards so that the boys could see it and run towards it. Naruto tried to take the bell using taijutsu, but it didn't work. When Hatake already had his brother in a hold, the rest of the team appeared. Great, Sasuke, Menma, cover me. Naruto broke free from the grip, jumped back and took out a scroll from his pouch, which instantly increased in size. Uzumaki opened it and, using the summoning technique, called his clone, which immediately disappeared after appearing. An orange outline appeared around the edges of Naruto's eyes, and the eyes themselves turned yellow with vertical pupils. The boy quickly flew up to Kakashi and continued the fight, using taijutsu. Another blow, and Hatake flies to the side, disappearing into the haze. Naruto finds him again, but he, in turn, has already activated his Sharingan and is fighting equally with the silver-haired one. After about 4 minutes of fighting, Kakashi weakened his defense, and Naruto was about to finish him off, when the hermit mode dissipated and he fell to one knee. Sensei was about to kick Naruto in the head, but then a toad appeared behind Kakashi, who took the bells. "Menma and Sasuke, Naruto asked me to give these to you," the toad said, handing the boys the bells before disappearing into the haze. "Well done, guys, you passed everything," the teacher smiled and disappeared into the white haze. Commentary on Chapter 7, Genius of His Generation. I hope you liked it. Today, probably, there will not be a second part, but maybe there will be, if you ask hard in the comments. Bacino. Chapter 8. New love This is Naruto-kun, Sasuke, and I have been thinking about this and want to apologize for the bad way we treated you. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have become shinobi. So, thank you. Menma shouted the last word and bowed sharply. Yes. Naruto, how can we thank you for your help? Sasuke continued after Namake's. Well. This. He scratched the back of his head. Take me home or something. Naruto suddenly passed out, falling to the ground. Menma and Sasuke wanted to take him, but then they remembered that they had absolutely no idea where Uzumaki lived. So they had to take him to the Uchiha's house, because Namake's had no one at home and no one could help. At this time, there were guests in the Uchiha house. The younger Uchiha's cousin decided to unexpectedly visit the family. Mikoto sat her down at the table and began to prepare dinner, telling her that Sasuke would become a genin today. While they were chatting, there was a knock at the door. Mikoto wiped her hands with a towel and hurried to open the door. Sasuke and Menma stood behind her, holding Naruto on themselves. Oh my god, Sasuke, what happened? Mikoto was confused. Looking at the three boys, one of whom was clearly out of shape. Naruto helped us pass Kakashi-sensei's exam, and then he suddenly passed out, so we brought him to my house. The younger Uchiha explained. Oh, and Setsuna's sister is here too, the brunette was surprised. Having dragged Naruto into the house, the guys, together with Mikoto, carried him up to the second floor and put him to bed. After that, they all started looking at each other nodding. Mikoto went to Naruto and pulled off the mask with the bandana. Everyone saw a young guy with 3 stripes on both cheeks. He was very handsome, even Menma and Sasuke were embarrassed, and later, throwing away all thoughts, left the room. I'll keep an eye on him, okay, Mikoto-san? Setsuna asked calmly. Oh of course, Mikoto muttered and left. Naruto woke up in an unfamiliar room. Next to him sat a girl with a beautiful face, black hair, and eyes of the same color. She was wearing a chunin vest, and she was sleeping, putting her hands on Naruto's bed. When Naruto was sure she was asleep, he sat down on the bed and realized his face was exposed. He was a little embarrassed and, putting the mask and bandana back on his face, he stood up and started waking the girl up. Hey! Are you alive? What's your name? Naruto asked, shaking the girl by the shoulder. Huh? Are you awake yet? My name is Setsuna Uchiha. She said, smiling sweetly. And then Naruto felt something squeeze in his chest. Kurama's laughter was heard in his head. After so many years, he felt something again. Where are we? The blonde man asked. At Sasuke's house, the girl answered him with a smile. Okay, tell Sasuke and Menma thank you, I have to go, Namake said, disappearing in a flash before Setsuna could answer him. He's so cool and cute, maybe I'll fall in love. Although. No, that can't be, Setsuna muttered and ran into the living room. Why did I pass out? I'm immortal. Naruto addressed mentally. Because you spent all your chakra and forgot to switch to Jashin's chakra, immortality worked anyway. At such an age no one has managed to pass out from chakra depletion and survive, and you don't even have a headache. Maybe I fell in love again? I guarantee you that. By the way, Menma and Sasuke are no longer showing aggression, only respect, and it seems they finally want to be friends with you. But always be careful with the Uchihas. What I'm getting at. Setsuna has fallen in love with you too. In the Hokage's office. Dad. Give us a higher rank mission already. Menma exclaimed, and Sasuke nodded, agreeing with his comrade. What a pain in the ass, Naruto muttered. Hokage-sama. Your wife and children were attacked by Kisame Hoshikage. An S-rank renegade. Kushina was able to protect everyone, but they couldn't kill him, he escaped. According to the information provided by Jiraiya-sama, he is one of the Akatsuki members who are collecting all the bijou. They most likely think that the Kyuubi is still in her. GRRGH. His name is not Kyuubi, but Kurama. Naruto said in an irritated tone in his subconscious. Kakashi, go to her as reinforcements. I think you and Kushina will defeat him. Head to the Land of Mist. Yes, Hokage-sama. The members of Team 7 shouted, after which everyone went to their homes to pack their things and prepare for the mission. Commentary on Chapter 8, New Love. Sorry, there was no part yesterday, my head hurt, in short, I was too lazy. So, the next part will be fucking awesome, so let's recruit those who are waiting. Bacino. == 9. Reinforcements from both sides == An hour later, everyone gathered at the village gate. Naruto, why haven't you packed your things? It's a long way. Menma yelled indignantly. I sealed it, and now, please, let's quickly go to the village of Mist, to save the Hokage family, Naruto said emotionlessly and ran after Kakashi. After 2 days they reached Tazuna's house. Wow. Kakashi, you came quickly. Kushina was happy. Menma and I, why did they send your team? Wouldn't it have been better to send A and BU? AKA asked while Teo looked at Naruto with interest. Dad said that everyone is busy now. So they are sending our team, Namikaze explained. Okay, you're probably hungry, so unload, and I'll cook dinner, Tsunami smiled, turning on the stove. I'll help you, I took some ingredients for curry from home, Naruto said and unsealed the rice with vegetables. Wow. Can you cook? Kushina asked. Then I'll help you too. An hour later, everyone was already sitting at the table. Suddenly everyone started looking at Naruto and Kakashi. They wanted to see their faces. Kakashi cast the hyunge of an adult Obito on himself and started eating, and Naruto decided to spoil his sensei's appetite. He made seals and turned into Kakashi without a mask. Kakashi choked a little and, following his student, turned into him without a mask. Everyone looked at the two handsome men. Menma, Teo, and Tsunami even became a little embarrassed. After these actions, the student and teacher quickly finished eating, loudly clanking their chopsticks, took off hyunge, thanked her for the food and went to the balcony. Menma, why do they wear masks? AKA asked Menma, who was glaring at Sasuke, but he pulled himself together and answered. I don't know, Menma said and smiled at the brunette, who simply snorted at the action. Nothing special happened for a week, teams took turns on duty on the bridge. Suddenly, Pakken appeared, who reported to Kakashi that Kushina was attacked on the bridge. Naruto left the clone at home, and went after the guys. Kushina was slightly beaten. Kisame was standing in front of her, about to swing his arm to take her chakra, when Kakashi appeared and blocked the blow. Huh. 2 against 1? Never mind, we'll fix that. Kisame said, and Zabuza and the masked girl appeared behind him. Zabuza Momochi? The demon of the bloody mist, I presume? Kakashi asked as Menma, Sasuke, and Naruto appeared behind him, who immediately began healing Kushina. Flashback. Naruto, you need to learn medical techniques to heal yourself and your comrades in battle. There should be some healing techniques in the knowledge library, Kurama said. I think you're right, IQ, Naruto said with a grin. Don't mangle my name. It's offensive, no trick, a pause. It's unpleasant, right? Okay, I'm going. End flashback. Kakashi-san, you take care of Kisame, and I'll take Zabuza, I need his sword, Naruto said. Okay. You guys will take care of this girl, Kakashi said. I'm a guy, Haku said and attacked the genin using Makio Hyosho. Brat, are you completely out of your mind? Do you want to get my sword? Then your bed is your own head. Zabuza shouted and flew at Naruto, who activated his Rinnegan, and was about to cut off his head, when Uzumaki took out a kunai, soaking it with lightning chakra, and repelled the blow. Then there was a fight using taijutsu and kenjutsu techniques, in which Naruto was not at all behind Zabuza thanks to the Rinnegan. After a minute of fighting, Naruto jumped back and dispelled the clone that was accumulating Sen chakra in Tezuna's house after beating the bandits. When Naruto entered Sannin mode, he had a clear advantage over Zabuza, who did not like this situation. Momochi decided to use the water dragon technique, which Naruto did not allow him to do, quickly running up to Zabuza and using fire Chidori. However, Zabuza dodged it by using the mist technique, hiding in it. But because Naruto was in hermit mode, he sensed it and dodged the attacks. Zabuza used his water bullet technique, but Naruto blocked himself with an earth wall and then summoned Gamuken. Is Toad Boss busy, Gamuken? Naruto asked once the fog cleared. Yes, I'm clumsy, of course, but I'll help you too, boy, said Gamuken. Can you help my team break that dome? He pointed towards where Sasuke, Menma, and Haku were fighting. Of course, replied the giant toad, hastening to fulfill the request. Naruto created 5 clones, 2 of which started shooting fireballs at Zabuza, another one threw kunai with fishing lines around Momochi, and the rest disappeared into the ground. Banjo Tenin! Naruto shouted. Zabuza rushed towards Naruto, but he got caught in a forest that enveloped him from all sides. 4 hands emerged from the ground and grabbed Zabuza by the legs. Naruto rushed at him with Chidori, but Haku appeared and covered Momochi with his body. Dumbass, Naruto said, strengthening his Chidori, which also reached Zabuza, killing both of them. Kakashi used Genjutsu on Kisame and walked away to the others, who were watching Naruto's fight. He killed these 2 so mercilessly? Kushina was surprised. Naruto, in order not to pass out again, switched to Jashin's chakra. It's time to give me some sacrifices, Naruto said as he looked at Gato's gang that appeared on the bridge. He took Zabuza's sword and began to cut down the entire gang, laughing hysterically. A minute later, he finished off Gato as well. Despite the fact that Uzumaki was all pierced by kunai and arrows, bleeding, he continued to smile. Naruto, are you okay? The rest of Team 7 shouted as they ran up to Naruto. It couldn't be better, Naruto smiled sweetly. You're going to die now. Even Tsunade can't cure this. Kushina was worried. Don't be afraid, Kushina-sama, Naruto said, taking the weapon out of himself. The wounds began to heal. But how is this possible? AKA asked. I'm just a good medic, Uzumaki told a lie that everyone believed except Hataki, who knew that his student was immortal. 2 days later, Team 7 and 14 reached Konoha and went to report to the Hokage. Commentary on 9, reinforcements from both sides. Well, how did you like the part? I hope you liked it. Should I continue the plot or stop? And should I continue about Menma and Sasuke's jokes or is that enough? Smiley face. Bachino. Chapter 10 Family is a complicated thing. At the Hokage's residence, Minato sat, all nervous, waiting for his wife and sons. Suddenly there was a knock on the door and the Hokage answered nervously. Come in. Hokage-sama, the mission was completed successfully, no one was hurt. We also killed Zabuza Momochi and his assistant. According to our information, it was Haku Yuki, the last member of the Yuki clan, Kakashi said, as usual, in his usual tone. Phew. Thank God you're okay. Great, you're free. Minato said and all the genin left, including Kakashi. Darling, did something happen? Minato asked, alarmed by the sight of Kushina. Darling, who is this Naruto Uzumaki? During the defense of the bridge, he single-handedly killed Zabuza and took his sword, cutting more than 100 bandits into pieces. And why is he gray at only 12 years old? Why does he look like Kakashi? Is he his son? Kushina asked the young Hokage. Listen Kushina, this boy was born on our son's birthday. The fox killed his parents on his birthday. Since his mother was from the Uzumaki clan, we resealed the kyubi into him," Minato said, mentally insulting himself for his blatant lie. "So this boy has a fox sealed inside him and is an orphan? Minato, I demand that he live with us," Kushina said and left the room, slamming the door. "Hedgehog, tell that Jinchuriki to come to my house this evening," the Hokage ordered, and the Umbu shinobi obediently left the room, bowing before doing so. At Naruto's house. "I'll finally fall asleep. Ku, how do you like the sword?" the silver-haired boy asked the fox playing with Zabuza's sword. "Well, what can I say, a sword is like a sword. I should have taken that guy's Samihata, he's a cool thing," the dissatisfied fox replied. "Kurama, you still can't sense Jiraiya-sama, he should give me the key?" Naruto asked. "He's close to the village, so he'll arrive in a day or two," the flea-bitten man answered and fell asleep. Naruto had already jumped into bed and, closing his eyes, wanted to fall asleep, but then the doorbell rang. "Aowaaga. Who is that, knocking on the door at this time? I'll find out and kill them," Naruto yelled. The Umbu got a little scared and left a piece of paper at the entrance, with the inscription, "At the Hokage's house, at 9 o'clock, this is an order. No. You're not going to leave so easily," Naruto said and returned to his favorite pillow. At 8:30 Naruto left the house and headed to the Hokage's house. No one looked at him sideways, and this made the boy happy. During this time he had changed a lot. So no one recognized him. In the Hokage's house, Kushina was flying all over the kitchen, and when the children asked what happened, she answered, "Kids, you're going to get an older brother today," Kushina said cheerfully, and the children began to wonder, when suddenly the doorbell rang. Minato opened it and saw a 13-year-old boy with a mask on half his face and a bandana over his eye, reading the book, Come, Paradise. "Hello Naruto-kun, come in." Minato invited the silver-haired man, who simply nodded and without taking his eyes off the book, walked into the apartment. "Hey Naruto, what are you doing here?" Menma asked, even more confused. "I don't know. Damn Umbu, didn't let me sleep and came late at night, said that I was given an order to come here. Hokage, tell the hedgehog that I shouldn't run into him again," said Naruto, looking at his father with an irritated and half-asleep look. "Okay Naruto." Minato smiled, touched even by such a look from his unspoken son. "Oh Naruto-kun, have you arrived yet? Sit down, we'll feed you," Kushina said, seating everyone at the table. "So, what is the reason you invited me, Hokage-sama?" "Well, the thing is that Kushina and I decided that you will now live with us," Minato replied. "Yes, since you are an Uzumaki and an orphan, we decided to take you in," Kushina added. "Hokage, can I have a word with you? Let's go up to the roof of the residence for a little chat," Naruto said, disappearing in a white flash. "To answer your question, yes, he knows Hiraishin," Menma said and smiled proudly for his friend. The Hokage also teleported to the roof of his residence and saw Naruto standing on the railing. "Father, you got a nice village," Naruto said emotionlessly. "I'm glad you call me your father right away," Minato smiled. "Yeah. A father who abandoned his son on his birthday doesn't deserve such a title," Naruto said and looked at Minato with a piercing gaze. "How do you know that? Who told you?" Minato was surprised, becoming a little nervous. "Listen, don't be afraid. I won't take the path of revenge. Revenge breeds hatred, and hatred breeds even more hatred, and this circle can only be broken if you forgive and come to terms, and I want peace." Naruto smiled. "Still, I don't know what to feel about you at the moment. You are nothing more to me than the Hokage, and Kushina with Menma, Akai, and Teo are nothing more than friends and not the best ones, so I refuse this offer and take Menma to the brothel, otherwise he will get completely lost," Naruto said, watching his father's reaction. "What do you mean, get lost? And what do you mean, go to a brothel?" Minato was perplexed, although it was not this statement that worried him, but Naruto's refusal itself, because even having predicted this refusal, hearing something like this was not pleasant. "Even if you were Hokage. We need to keep an eye on Uchiha, you idiot," Naruto said, smirking slightly and disappearing in a white flash of lightning, leaving Minato alone with his thoughts. Commentary on Chapter 10, Family is a Complicated Thing. I hope you liked it. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday, my head hurt and it's not any better now. Bacino. Chapter 11 Mother's Love Heals Everything. After Naruto disappeared in a flash, Minato became a little tense and teleported home. Honey, where is Naruto? Kushina asked. Children, honey, I have to tell you something, Minato said and sat down on the sofa. On October 10, 12 years ago, a nine-tailed demon fox attacked, which was released from Kushina by a masked man. After fighting him, it turned out that it was my long-dead student Obito Uchiha. Then I teleported to the fox and after a long battle, I decided to seal the fox into my son. Minato said. Stop. What am I, a Jinchuriki? The law about not telling children who the Jinchuriki was existed in this world, but Danzo rumors leaked through ANBU, Menma was surprised. And you shut up. I still need to chat with you a little, otherwise I'm completely lost. So, that day we had twins. The first one was called Naruto, and the second one, that is. You, Menma. Naruto came out earlier, and he looked more cheerful, so I decided to seal the fox in him. I teleported back to Kyubi and Danzo sacrificed himself to seal the tailed beast in my son, after which he died. Minato said with a sad look, remembering those terrible minutes. Darling, what's the point of all this? You just wanted to tell me that they had an older brother? Kushina was perplexed. That's what I'm getting at, they have an older brother, Namikaze said and lowered his head. Dad, what are you saying? Naruto, isn't he? Stop Naruto? Is Uzumaki really my, Menma said, already slowly guessing what his father was talking about. Minato, tell me you didn't know. Kushina said menacingly. Aye. Minato couldn't say anything. He didn't know, because the Kyubi was sealed in me, my pulse weakened, and Hiruzen took my body, putting a fake corpse in the grave, then said that the Kyubi was resealed in a new child, and he found out about it just now, on the roof. Naruto said, appearing in a flash. Kushina was now experiencing different emotions, anger, joy, pity. But even so, she shouted the silver-haired man's name with a smile and tears in her eyes, and jumped to hug him. He did not resist. Hey kid, it's better not to anger this woman, and also play up emotions, any kind, if you want to cast self-genjutsu, emotions, and love for the family. Kurama said in his subconscious. But it wasn't necessary, Naruto cried, smiled and was happy that he felt his mother's embrace. He would give everything to prolong this moment for another 5 centuries. Now he was truly happy. Commentary on Chapter 11 Mother's Love Heals Everything. There weren't 10 different comments yesterday, so there won't be a second part, but if today there are 10 comments from different people under this one, then tomorrow there won't be a third part. Beta, author, I'm in complete shock, I didn't think they would actually date. Bacino. Chapter 12 Not everything is so simple. After hugging his mother, Naruto quickly wiped away his tears and put on a stone face again. In any case, I'm not going to live with you, I'm fine alone. I'm also angry at you for not keeping an eye on the third one. By the way, Hokage, I'll deal with Menma myself if I decide to confess, Naruto said without emotion, looking at his father, whose heart broke every time his son called him Hokage. Okay Naruto, if that's your will, you can live alone, but you will have different privileges as a member of the Hokage family. Also, the residents should know who you are. Minato said. So this is all wonderful, of course, but did it seem to me or did you reject the offer from Naruto-kun's mom, the bloody habanera, whose hair had already been divided into 9 parts, said menacingly. I warned you, Persimmon said in her subconscious. Naruto and Minato became nervous, so they both immediately teleported to the first Hokage's head. Well then, I guess I'll go. And Jiraiya has the key, right? Naruto asked. Yes, but why do you need it? The underdog asked in surprise. Yeah, right, Naruto said and disappeared in a flash, and Minato was left looking at the Knight Konoha, realizing that today he would get a lot of beatings for both of them, right on the head with a frying pan. The next morning Naruto got up like yesterday. He had a hard day, so he decided to get a good night's sleep. After he got out of bed and went to the bathroom, after going through all the water procedures, he began to cook porridge. After he ate well, Naruto got dressed and went outside. Today the plan was to rest, so he went to the hot springs. After he undressed and started swimming, he saw a man of about 40 years old who was watching the girls through a tube behind the wall. "Jiraiya-sama, I understand that Volume 4 is coming soon?" Naruto asked without leaving the source. "Kakashi, I didn't think you liked springs," the old man answered without looking closely. "No, I'm not Kakashi, my name is Naruto Uzumaki," Naruto said, teasing Shino, who was also swimming. "I see, I didn't think that I have young readers. Wait, if you are Uzumaki then you should have red hair." Jiraiya became alert. "I'm a half-blood Uzumaki," the silver-haired man explained. "Aren't you Kakashi's son by any chance?" Jiraiya asked. "No, I'm your student's son," Naruto said and disappeared in a flash, leaving a note, "I'm waiting at training ground number 7, if you have any questions, go to the Hokage." Jiraiya was a little surprised, but then continued looking for material for his book. Naruto was walking around Konoha and decided to eat at Ichiraku. When he went there, he saw Sasuke and Menma chatting sweetly. Naruto's nerves started to stick out from what he saw. "So what's going on here, lovebirds?" Naruto asked irritably. "You know, I don't care. Let's go Menma, quickly. And you're an Uchiha, or I don't want to ruin Setsuna's mood because of your stupidity." "Brother, where are we going?" Menma asked, to which Sasuke gave a strange sideways glance. "What do you mean brother?" Uchiha asked. "Well, I'll tell you later," the blonde replied. "We'll straighten your brains out," Uzumaki replied. "In what sense?" Uchiha and Namikaze did not understand. "That you are the children of the most influential people in the village and want to ruin the reputations of your families?" asked the ash-haired man. "What? How did you guess?" Uchiha was surprised. "Yes, everyone has already figured out, except for the Hokage and Fugaku, that you are secretly meeting. The correction is on me, as a member of the team." After that Naruto took them to a brothel, where they had a good time under henge, smiley face. Commentary on Chapter 12, it's not that simple. There weren't 10 different comments yesterday, so there won't be a second part, but if today there are 10 comments from different people under this one, then tomorrow there will be a third part. Beta, I know you can get that much. Smiley face. Bachino. == Chapter 13, Prophetic Dreams == In the morning, Naruto quickly jumped out of bed and went to wash his face. Ufferg. Kurama is just fucking awesome. Silverhaired spoke in a shocked tone in his subconscious. "And what happened?" asked Tailed One in surprise. "Yes, I had a dream that I was invited to the Hokage's house, then they offered me to live with them, and then for some reason I confessed to my father that I knew everything and covered for him in front of the whole family, blaming the third Hokage. Well, then it turned out that Menma and Sasuke were dating and then I took them to a brothel, and I also met Jiraiya and... In short. Horrible what happened." Young Uzumaki was shocked by his own words. "Well, what can I say, yesterday you were really invited to the Hokage's house, and as for Menma and Sasuke, they are clearly showing interest in each other. Jiraiya will arrive in Konoha tomorrow evening and he will head, as usual, to the hot springs, I guarantee you that, kid." Kyubi answered mockingly. "I'm in trouble. So what should I do?" "Well, if they really want to take you in, then just politely refuse and run away, and as for Menma and Sasuke, just ignore them," Kurama said. "Stop, how can I ignore them if they constantly flicker before my eyes?" The blonde was perplexed. "In any case, I haven't trained for a long time, so I should go to the training ground, and in the evening I'll wash up and go to the Hokage." After that, Naruto ate, got dressed and went to the training ground. At the training ground. "Ku, do you have a summoning?" Naruto asked. "Yes, only there is no hermit mode, but there is a fox sage mode. It is similar to the mode of the Sage of the Six Paths, only half," the fox explained, "but even you will have to spend 8 years to learn this mode, In my world time works the same way as for toads, but today you need to go to the Hokage, but signing the contract is not a problem. Here are the seals," said the nine-tailed, showing the seals that Naruto folded and bit his finger to summon a scroll with a small fox that showed what needed to be done. After signing the contract, he summoned a fox the size of Gamabunta and also with 8 tails. After chatting with him for a while, Naruto realized that the ANBU would arrive now and it would be hot, so he quickly ran from the training ground. At home he took a bath, hung his clothes on the dryer, dressed himself more decently, and went outside again. After 20 minutes of walking, Naruto knocked on the door of the Hokage's house. This time, it was Kushina who opened it. "Oh. Hello Naruto-kun, we've been waiting for you. Come to the table." The whole family was already sitting at the table, including Minato. "So why did you call Hokage-sama?" Naruto asked. "Well, you see. Kushina and I decided to adopt you," Minato answered with a smile. The Hokage's children choked a little and cleared their throats when they heard such an answer. "Unfortunately, I have to refuse. It's better for me alone. By the way, Hokage, can I talk to you later?" Without giving Minato a chance to answer, Naruto disappeared in a white flash of lightning. "And what was that?" Teiyo asked. "Okay father, Sasuke and I decided to go for a walk today, so I have to go," Menma said and slipped away. "Dad, doesn't it seem like Menma and Sasuke are a little off?" AKA asked. "I don't mind," Kushina said laughing, and then started a discussion about why Naruto refused. "Phew. We got off well, huh?" Naruto asked. "Yeah, by the way,